Greetings! Welcome to Southeastern University's Master of Arts in Ministerial Leadership Executive Cohort. I'm Dr. Alan Ehler. I'm your instructor for the course Practical Theology and also Dean of the Barnett College of Ministry and Theology. I want to give this video to you to give you a little bit of a welcome to the program in my course specifically, but also to me. I've been here at Southeastern now for 7 years. Before this, I served as a pastor, then later as a professor in the Great Northwest in the state of Washington. Before that, I served as a U.S. Air Force officer, as a civil engineer. But God had other plans for me, and it has been an incredible joy to be serving at the fastest growing Pentecostal university in the country, and now by far the largest, probably over 10,000 students this fall. And it's great to have you to be some of them. And the program you're a part of is Southeastern University's longest running master's degree. Dr. Mark Rutland, president in 2004, wanted to come up with a degree that would empower leaders who'd already been leading at a high level to enable them to lead at an even higher level. And so the Master of Arts in Ministerial Leadership was born. It was born in this executive cohort format where leaders like you could be preaching on a Sunday morning, get on a plane, make it here to Lakeland or wherever we're going to meet, study with like-minded leaders and the leading thought people in Pentecostal theology and leadership and actual practitioners as well from around the country, and then be able to take off Friday evening, Saturday morning, and make it back home to preach again on Sunday, or whatever type of ministry you were doing. And then, of course, before and after, doing online and independent work, interacting with one another and your professor, as well as doing full-on graduate level research. And you will be the first class to start since we have achieved Association of Theological Schools accreditation. This culminates a 6-year-long process that says that our program is the highest caliber of academic learning at the graduate level for ministry or theology that you can obtain. Now, let me just say, you take a look at the list of alumni from this program, and it is just incredible. Many of the largest and fastest growing churches and ministries across the country have gone through what you are about to experience. And let me say, I can imagine you, like all those before you, your heart leaps with the excitement about what you're about to do, but also with the fear of what you're going to face. And it is truly graduate level work. It's going to be a lot of work. You're going to need grace from the people in your life, but it will be practical and it's going to empower you. Our courses are specifically designed to be able to be applied into your workplace. You're going to do research and reading, probably like you've never done before, but you're going to be thinking and learning, how can I lead? How can I be a minister of the gospel in my place at a higher level? And that's what it's all about. And this course that I'll be sharing with you, Practical Theology, really sets the stage. It is the entry course to get you thinking like a graduate level student, but one who is also a minister, a practitioner, a leader. How do you take this academic stuff of theology and biblical studies and put it into practice in your place of ministry? And that's what Practical Theology is. Now, this course, like all the others, you'll be coming here to Lakeland campus. We're going to start at 9 a.m. Monday morning, September 7th. Yes, that is Labor Day. You'll be glad we did when you come back on Tuesday and you see how different parking is. Let me just say, we are the fastest growing university, the largest university, and you will feel it, but it's exciting. We will also be practicing social distancing, so please bring a mask. We are going to have a big enough room. You won't have to wear it all the day during class as long as you got space, but when you're passing students in the hallway, we would ask that you honor that request from us. Also, for parking passes, when you show up on Longfellow Boulevard, you'll see just north of our football stadium, just north of Crystal Lake Drive, there's a 4-way stop. Enter there. There is a kiosk that has one of our security officers there. You will check in there to get a parking pass. A temporary parking pass will last all week. We will be gathering together for meals if you would like at lunch. There'll be at least once we get together, all probably on Wednesday, and maybe go off campus Tuesday or Wednesday. We'll see how that works out. On your own, the meals are all the rest of the meals will be on your own expense-wise. If you want to gather in the evenings, that's fine. We will be sending you a list of suggested hotels that offer discounts to students. We have found that some of our cohorts like to stay together, get an Airbnb or someplace where they can just share the expense of travel. As you probably know by now, you will have your first 2 live sessions here in Lakeland. That is in September and then in February of 2021. But then in April of 2021, we'll be in Los Angeles. In June, you'll be in Chicagoland. In next September of 2021, you'll be in Oklahoma City. In November of 2021, Charlotte, North Carolina. And then in March of 2022, your last live session is going to be a remote, beautiful place called Orcas Island, Washington, at the home of Leonard Sweet, where you're just going to get away and think like you've never thought before, and then walk across that line in April of 2022. So let me just give you some general principles, apply to my class and really all the classes that you'll take. One of them is we use this learning management system called MyFire. It's built on a platform maybe known as D2L Brightspace, but we call it MyFire. You go online to myfire.seu.edu, and when you go on there, you will find that you have a lot of different places. One, if you go down the content tab, first thing you'll see most important is your syllabus. I'll email this to you as well, but that is our contract with you. It says what we expect from you, and also how to get a grade, what assignments are, when they are due, and if there's ever any doubt, always, here's the rule, say it with me, check the syllabus. It is the governing document. Even if MyFire disagrees, we always fall back to the syllabus. But then below that, you'll see several links for assignments. Now, there's a couple different kinds of assignments that you'll have in this class. The first one is called a discussion forum. Again, we're only together for 5 days, but we want to continue the conversation. We're going to do that in a variety of ways. One of the key ones is I will ask you a question, usually based on your reading, maybe on your own assignments or research, but I want you to be reflective on that, right? Not a whole ton, just like a pretty good long paragraph, 200, 300 words. Share your thoughts about whatever question it is that week. Those are usually going to be due on Saturday night. Then I want you to reply to at least 2, but please, this is to be a conversation with your whole class. Go more than that, okay? I'm going to grade 2, but talk to everybody. Make this a conversation, and usually you'll have Tuesday by midnight that those are due, and they're just replies. Again, ongoing conversations. This is a big part of online education today, so we'll have several of those going on throughout the semester. We'll also be doing some video Zoom sessions later on in the semester, again, just to keep up the relationships, to share, to process everything you're going through. Another big assignment is going to be what we call book critiques. And what I'm wanting you to do on this is you're going to read these assigned textbooks that I'll share with you in just a few minutes. And as you read those, I want you to process them. Can you give me, in a single sentence, what is the main idea? It's what we call a thesis. What's that writer trying to communicate? And then I want you to kind of summarize some things about it, and I want you to critique it. That is, find at least one thing in which you disagree or could have been improved. And yes, one of the books is mine, and yes, I can take it, okay? Welcome to graduate education. We've got to critique each other if we're going to grow. I will be critiquing you. Now's your chance to get on to me, okay? And then also after that, I want you to think about how can you put this into practice in your life? Does it have anything to do with you and your ministry? So there'll be a total of 5 books that you'll be taking a look at as you go through this program. One of them is not even out yet. The first one is a little book. Aren't you glad it's little? I want to start you off easy, but this is a great book by Kelly Kapic. It talks about why in the world do you care about theology? Your church is growing. You've got a great ministry career. What do you need any more study for? There's going to be some great principles there. Then the next one is my book that Zondervan just released in February. That was actually born in this class. First time I taught this class 7 years ago, I really wrestled with and realized we need a Pentecostal perspective on practical theology. Now, you don't see practical theology or even Pentecostalism anywhere in the cover of the book. That's because this whole process of writing, it's written for a more popular audience that ordinary, everyday Christians can read. But you will see the platform in this book is really the core concepts we're going to share throughout the class. And the overall model of how to make a decision applies in so many areas. We call it story shaping, and it is indeed from a perspective that we believe the Holy Spirit's alive and well in the work today, in the world today. We get to partner with Him in God's mission. So we'll take a look at that. That'll be the next book you read. Then the next one, this is a very old version because my other one's at home, but we call it Turabian for short. K. Turabian just set the standard for graduate level writing, and it is used in theological seminaries across the country. These people are from the University of Chicago. It's standards. In this book, you're going to be like, why are you assigning me this? Because you're going to need this for the next 2 years. This governs how we do our writing, how we do our formatting, but also how do you do research and writing, and what do those have to do with each other? I'll talk about that in our live session as well. There'll be some great stuff there. Next one is the biggest, and it comes from the great pastor Timothy Keller, who pastored in Church of the Redeemer in New York City for so many years. And this is a great example of practical theology. It's how you do theology in ministry, and it really represents it. Book came out in 2012, but it still, I think, is probably the best example for you of how do you take all these bits and pieces, put them together. The final book is not even released yet. It's written by my counterpart at our sister school, Lee University, up in Cleveland, Tennessee. Terry Cross has written one about serving the people of God's presence. It's a sequel to one of his earlier books, but it sounds like it is absolutely for practitioners. Again, how do we take what we learn to help our people grow in faith? Important details. Well, I hope this has been helpful for you. Please remember, if you have any questions at all, feel free to call me. My cell phone number is area code 425, yes, still my Seattle number, 425-422-9902. Text or call me anytime. I'm going to enjoy this journey with you. I'm your point of contact. If you have any questions, I will be your academic advisor. I may not be able to be with you every step of the way, but I'm looking forward to calling your name as you cross that platform to get your diploma. God bless.